Welcome, everybody. Nice to see you. Bettina, didn't I just see you an hour ago? I'm so glad you're all here, and I think most everybody is returning. So thanks for joining us today. And I don't think we need much of an introduction today since we are continuing. So I'm going to just say thank you for being here, and I'll turn it over to my friend Genjo and let you take over, Genjo.
Okay. Well, let's start with a little bit of a guided and then some silent meditation. These are much the words that I share with myself when I sit down to sit. Find a position where I can feel as though I'm planted in Mother Earth, planting my tailbone like a taproot deep into the center of Mother Earth and beyond, allowing my spines to be raised like an antenna, helping me recognize and nurture my own center of gravity at the nexus between heaven and earth. Resting in my center of gravity, I observe the world inside and outside of my physical form just as it is. No need to add or subtract, amplify or diminish, judge or analyze. Instead, taking slow, gentle, whole breaths and listening on all channels of perception to the symphony of now. And as I sit and breathe and witness this moment of eternity with all of you, we gently watch for the silence, the stillness, the quiet power emanating between and within each note of this symphony of now. In this background and omnipresent, quiet stillness, there's an intimate, infinite emptiness or power that is nurturing and holding and restoring us all. And as our heart minds begin to open more as one with each other, with our environment, and with this background stillness or silence, and we join with all other open and well-rooted heart minds around the globe to embrace our very troubled world and our own journeys of trials and tribulations, joys and sorrows, with a gentle, loving, persistent presence. Put our hands together and bow to one another. I'm going to turn off a fan here just a second. Well, we've been exploring the 10 Zen Ox Pictures with the idea that it might give us some hints at how to open ourselves or keep ourselves open in the midst of so many trials and tribulations that we all face in the human journey, the soup of samsara of coming and going and life and death. And in this extra, feels like, troubling times nationally and internationally. I know my parents went through World War II and McCarthyism, and those weren't pretty. And I even remember the Cuban Missile Crisis, of course, the terror of the Vietnam War and civil rights movement, and moving forward and falling back. So, human beings know how to make trouble. And I think it arises mainly from not being connected to something beyond ourselves. When we're stuck in our own kind of narrow egoistic perspective, it's like having blinders on. And personally, that ends up becoming very narcissistic, and on a national scale, it becomes nationalism. And it just means that we need to learn how to take off our blinders, personally and collectively, as best we can, so that we can see our interrelatedness as human beings and with all the other animals and plants on the planet. And I've often turned to these Zen Ox pictures as ways to open my own windows of my heart mind and to try and keep them open. And these Zen Ox pictures are, they tell a story of arch of opening and where that leads us to. But as we all know, sometimes we feel found and sometimes we feel lost. So there is not some sort of attainment that I'm expecting of you or me, but I'm trying to get hints on what windows are closed and what windows are open. And can I open some more windows in my heart mind so that I can step outside of my narrow ego perspective more consistently? Not perfectly, but more consistently. And today's window that we're looking at is the second to last, returning to the source, it's titled, and I'll pull it up on the screen. So I'm sharing this now, this particular translation of this verse and commentary. And, throwing up the windows, in the previous sessions that we've had, we've looked at what I've called the west window and the east window, and last time was the north window. I'll call this one the south window. And these windows are, sometimes the shades are down, sometimes they're wide open. And it can go from one moment to the next, that all the windows are open or all the windows are closed. And they're kind of in almost a superposition with each other. And it's really quite a wonderful experience when they're all open, and that doesn't happen very often, and that's okay. But maybe I can have at least one window open most of the time. All right, let's look at this window. It's titled Returning to the Source. And it has the following verse. First of all, it looks like a picture of a tree and some flowers blooming at the bottom there. It starts out, too many steps have been taken, returning to the root and the source. And what that's referring to, too many steps have been taken to the root and the source. That if you followed this course kind of linearly, you would have ended up at the number 8, which was the last one that we viewed, the enso, or sort of the negative absolute of emptiness, or the vast void. And that's about as deep as you can go. It's infinitely large and still intimate, but it's as deep as we can get. It's like diving beneath the waves of surface reality and discovering that we're in an ocean that has no bottom. That was number 8. And this is number 9, saying too many steps have been taken, returning to the root. That's this root, this bottomless ocean, and to the source. Far better to stay at home. And this is referring to the positive absolute, where we're out in nature, and nature is so bright it's almost overwhelming. Blind and deaf and without much ado. And we're blind and deaf in the sense that we're blown away. When we have those moments when this window is open, that we just feel completely blown away by nature with a capital N. Usually we're someplace where nature is shouting at us. Of course, nature's shouting at us everywhere. But, if you're at the sea, or you're in the woods, or you're in an alpine meadow, or you're out in a high desert, or you're just surrounded by nature that speaks to you and shouts at you, because it's not crowded with like in the middle of a city. It's right there in the middle of the city too, but it's a little harder to see. Anyway, we're blind and deaf. We don't want to speak. We've got kind of nothing to say and nothing to do except absorb just how gorgeous and nearly overwhelming nature can be. Dwelling in one's true abode. This is out. We are out. We are a part of nature. We're seamless with nature. We're transparent with nature, unconcerned with that which is without. The river flows tranquilly, sitting by the river. Or you're seeing the flowers that are red in the, paintbrush in an alpine meadow. From the beginning, the truth is clear. The commentary, this truth is clear. Poised in silence, I observe the forms of integration and disintegration. We watch the creation and destruction happening in this landscape of nature just as it is, and it's all a part of one whole. From spring to fall and summer to winter, it's all a part of one whole. One who is not attached to form need not be reformed. There's no place to go and there's nothing to do. The water is emerald. The mountain is indigo. And I see that which is creating and that which is destroying. We're watching nature go through its cycles of life and death and spring and fall and summer and winter, and it's a part of one whole. And it's as part of one whole, it's just absolutely gorgeous. We're not thinking negatively about fall or negatively about death. We just see it as a part of one gigantic whole, and it's all out. One of the things I said earlier is that when we were back at the Zen Ox picture number 3, where we're seeing the ox for the first time, when we see the ox for the first time, I'm suggesting that you'll see it either the ox being deep self or deep nature, beyond self. That it will take the feeling of either this riding the ox and just going along in deep harmony and samadhi, or it will take the feeling of being entirely alone in a hermitage on top of a mountain, or it will take the feeling of gone, completely gone, into what is sometimes referred to as the negative absolute or the bottomless ocean, or it will take this form where there's no sense of self, there's just a sense of nature with a capital N. And this view is when I had my first encounter with like a window thrown up in my adult life. It was the summer of 1977. It was my first Zen retreat. I was on Vashon Island. It was the third day of a session. I thought I was going to die. And instead of dying and running away, I just sat there and became unafraid of the pain. The pain was still there, but because I was no longer afraid of it, I was just going to die. So I was unafraid of the pain. I sat there, and a 50-minute sit seemed like it went by in 5 minutes. And I got up, and I couldn't imagine where the time had gone. And I'm walking around the room, and I look out of a bay window in this retreat center that was a lot like this drawing on this picture. There was a tree and grass, and there was a very white fog, and tears were streaming down my face. And I wanted to shout to my compatriots, "Don't you see it? Don't you hear it?" But I couldn't have put that into words in the sense of what was being heard or seen. But I was definitely moved, and in a kind of overwhelmed place, that the tree and the fog and the grass and the dew were just so bright I couldn't even find myself. And that was the first time one of these windows opened as an adult. As kids, I think these windows are not stuck, but somewhere along the line, maybe around after 7, if we're lucky. Somewhere in there, the windows start to close, and we're so oriented toward getting through school and then finding a job and having a family and climbing the anthill, that we lose sight of what it's like to have our windows open. And we become so kind of self-centered around the goals of life and living life. Then it takes something like Zen practice or some other artistic or martial, perhaps, practice that allows us to start opening the windows again and learning how to have a kind of spaciousness and the air flowing through us and our blinders off, that we can then maneuver in the world with peace of mind and a caring heart, and not feel so frightened or burdened by the storms happening around us. I'm going to drop this whole document into the commentary, as I've done every time, so that into the chat, so that you can look at this at the same time. If I can move this around just so I can do that and send it off to everyone. There we go. Come on. Why won't you move? There we go. All right, it's sent. It's be showing up in your chat momentarily. Okay, so we're on the 10th Zen Ox picture, and I'm going to share ninth Zen Ox picture. Share that once more. And let me see if there's anything more I want to say about it right now. I'll tell you that if you're in this view, and you were stuck in this view, you couldn't find yourself. There's no self to be found. There's just nature with a capital N. But if all the windows are open, or some of the windows are open, and you have this also, you'll also still have a sense of self. But if you were kind of trapped or stuck in this with this window, you just can't find yourself. I know that we have a beautiful garden behind us, and in fact you can see it in the picture that I use as the background here. And sometimes I'll catch my spouse, Carolyn, standing in the bathroom before she takes a shower, and I can't hear the shower going. And I will find her naked, just looking out the back window at this for more than a half an hour, just staring at nature and the garden that we've created in the back. And I'm saying, maybe you want to take a shower. And she'll say, oh, maybe you're right, but I'm enjoying looking at the garden. And she was lost, completely lost in the view of the garden. And that's like having that particular window open. Okay, I have made my comments about this window and related it to the third Zen Ox picture, which often will take a flavor of one of these windows, either 9, 8, 7, or 6. And when all the windows open is something that we'll deal with next time. And I'll open it up now to comments or questions or sharings. Whose hand is up? Hi, Carol.
Very helpful. I have never heard before a description of different kinds of Genjo experience where you're stuck here or where all the windows are open. Or I always thought it was just one flavor and down. I mean, I've never had anybody break it out like that. And that's really very, very, very helpful to think about.
Well, it's all outside. It's not like outside as if you're north, south, east, or west. If you're standing outside, it's all outside. All the windows are open. But if you're inside and you're kind of stuck inside your view, when the window opens, it's like, oh, that's what it is. But you're only looking in one direction until you've got all the windows open. But outside is all outside. I mean, it's just one reality. It's not like separate realities. I've also described it recently as it's all different flavors of ice cream. It's all ice cream, but it's different flavors of ice cream. And the thing with an ice cream cone is that you want to eat it and enjoy it, but you don't want to try and save it. It will melt and be a big mess. No, enjoy it while you have it. The window's open and you've got an ice cream cone. Eat it, digest it, enjoy it, and then it's gone. That's okay. It's the windows open and close, and so once in a while you'll have an ice cream cone. That's fine. Enjoy it, but don't try to save it. If you put the ice cream cone in the freezer or something like that, it's going to get old. It's not going to taste good when you take it back out. I once, when I was in the 4th grade, I was very lucky to be living at a lodge near the American River, somewhat west of Lake Tahoe on Highway 50 in California. And I caught my very first fish. I'm a Los Angeles kid mainly. So to catch a fish as a kid in the 4th grade, it was a rainbow trout. But I was so thrilled that I had caught the rainbow trout. Hold on just a second.
Yeah, I want to eat that trout. Where is he?
Yeah, we were just getting to the good part, huh?
And I'll be right back. Yeah. So I'm talking while I'm still at the door here. Anyway, this rainbow trout, I was so thrilled about the rainbow trout that I just put it in the refrigerator. We didn't eat it, and we didn't throw it back. And what a mistake! We should have thrown it back or eaten it. But I was trying to keep it. You don't want to keep enlightenment. This is not the thing to do. Eat the ice cream cone or cook the fish, or even let it go. But don't try to keep enlightenment. It just doesn't work, and it's a real foolish waste of time. Go ahead, Annie.
Thank you, Genjo, and everybody. So enlightenment can't be like imagine when it's going to come or how long it's going to last. It's like little flashes here or there. It's never programmed or measured or kept, anything like that. It's just here and there, flashes of enlightenment.
Correct. Now, the effect of having seen the Grand Canyon for the first time, or caught a fish for the first time, or been overwhelmed by nature for the first time, or had that first ice cream cone, it may last, that feeling of having seen the Grand Canyon or had that first ice cream cone. And that feeling may last for quite some time, but the experience itself is rather transitory. But the feeling of how wonderful it was to be up in the mountains, or seeing the Grand Canyon, or catching that first fish, or having that ice cream cone, that feeling can stay with you. But it's not the experience itself. It's the experience itself is kind of momentary, and then the feeling can just kind of go on. It might go on for just a few breaths, or it might go on for a few months, literally. But it's still the feeling, the residual of the opening, not the opening itself.
So can you have it and then lose it?
You can't lose it in the sense that you definitely know it's real. You had that ice cream cone, you know it's real. You've seen it, you know it's real. You've been blown away by the mountain, you know it's real, and you remember it the rest of your life. So in that sense, the confidence or faith that it's real is something that stays with you.
Thank you.
Nobody can if you've seen the Grand Canyon, nobody can convince you it doesn't exist. Hello again, Carol.
You have a couple of times alluded to the negative absolute, the positive absolute. I wonder if you would clarify that.
So the negative absolute would be the zero or the enso, and the positive absolute would be the very one that we're looking at today, which is nature with a capital N. And so it's like everything is out, and in negative absolute, everything is gone, completely gone. Everything is out, here, now, fully awake. Different sides of the same coin, but one is out and one is gone. Lydia.
Yes, Genjo, you talk about, we're speaking about the feeling, which is undeniable. I wonder if you have comments about feeling and memory of. So, for some experiences, I have memory, but more like the experience of something like burned, like a transformation, or which is different than memory of the experience. So it feels like, well, I remember the experience. I really like you expressing it as feeling. The experience is in memory, but the event is transformative.
Yeah, there is.
On the memory of it.
Right. So sometimes the experience will also cause a transformation. That it will unlock something. It might unlock attachment to a trauma. It might unlock attachment to some fear. It might unlock some other sort of personal history that has been convoluted. It might free up some capacities in your life that you didn't even know you had. You did have them, but they were locked up. So it can be like a key that opens a door, and that stays with you. Back to the tenets of Zen peacemakers and Bernie, all of these are kind of bearing witness. But the deeply entering the knowing is like the enso. And the loving action appears in several different ways. It might appear as acceptance. It might appear as harmonious activity of sharing a cup of tea with even an enemy, quote unquote enemy. It might show up as just a caring heart mind who doesn't need to fix anything, but is prepared to care as needed. And that would be the number 10 where we're getting to. But the three tenets are just wrapped up in here. Keith, did you have something? Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I think going to South Dakota brought this home for me on the retreat with the Lakota people. I think the thing that became most poignant, following up from your point about not knowing, is the concept of not knowing is most intimate. And I didn't really understand that till the retreat. So I think the idea that you drop all judgments and just enter a different level of intimacy was really an important part of that. I don't have a question around that. I guess it's just kind of my recent learning and observation. So
I like it. I agree with you. And the knowing is so intimate. You can't get more intimate than the infinite, actually. And that's why I read another book called The Intimate Infinite. And it's just dropping into this deep, I don't know who I am. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know who we are. I don't know where we're going. But there's an acceptance and an intimacy, and there's certainly an interdependence that becomes so intimate in that knowing. I don't know how it's going to turn out. I don't know how to fix it. I don't even need to try to fix it, but I can feel the intimacy and then be carried by the intimacy and the caring heart mind of interdependence.
yeah. Say as long as I have my hand still up. You've said the keys. I found certain keys useful. The one that first struck me was about the same time you talked about 1977, which was the great Jobim song, Waters of March. And to me, that I can turn that key. If I want to sit back, it's almost like a meditation, right? I can use that key. Another one is Carl Sagan's great speech on the pale blue dot. That for me is another key. to just really touching what we're talking about here. So I'm just passing those along.
Yeah, great. And is it a good run?
I would like to share something with you because I've had an amazing nature with a capital N experience thanks to a beech tree. Beech trees, they are really special because they're solitary trees. They don't like a lot of hassle going on beneath them. So they make very thick, leafy roofs so nothing grows. So they have this thick layer of leaves on the ground. And I was at a guided nature walk, and it wasn't really a walk. Everybody was just sitting at trees, and I was taking care that nobody would get bothered by walkers or dog people. And then I came across a beech tree and I felt tired and I fell asleep. I fell asleep on my shift beneath that tree for about 15 minutes. I believe. Thank goodness I found it before they could nestle in, but the ticks went the experience because somehow that silent, quiet darkness of the beech tree, they have this darkness to them. They have something with more. They have more shadow than other trees. It went in, and it was well, it's different, but it's I think a very special experience to have. Maybe a little bit of a false window, maybe.
Well, thank you for sharing that experience of light and dark and the tree being part of this. The words that you're using to try to impart a token of that experience of capital N nature. That's about the best we can do with our words, is give some sort of token of what the experience is like. And they're rather inadequate words when you're having such an experience. It's just the best we can do is write a little poetry or say some token words. Any other questions, comments, sharings? Carol?
What about this happens to me at the beach sometimes. You're at the beach, sitting for a long time. The waves come in and break on the beach and they fall back and they come and they go and there's a breeze and there's birds and maybe there's, if you're at Goat Rock, there's seals, and it all eventually just, it's almost like white noise. It rises and falls and rises and falls and rises. It takes all of your words away from you. There's no words, none at all. And so you try to go back and tell somebody, oh, the beach was great. But you know what? There's absolutely nothing to say. Nothing to say. And it's so calm and peaceful. It's not even bliss. It's just anyway. So as I said, there aren't any words about it, but it's not like this great blasting open experience is just so ordinary, sort of. I don't know what word to use for it. Does that fit one of these windows?
It fits the one that we're talking about today.
Oh.
And the verses sound a lot like what you've just said. When it says, far better to just stay home, blind and deaf, without much ado, dwelling in one's a true abode, unconcerned with that without. Rivers flow tranquilly, on and on, and the flowers are red. The truth is clear, poised in silence. I observe forms and integration and disintegration. The water is emerald, the mountain is indigo. I see that which is creating and that which is destroying. You just said it in another way, Carol, and it doesn't have to be extraordinary. It can just be what? Very ordinary. Other questions or comments? I'm sure everybody has had some experience of being, just as Carol has said, out in nature where you'll say, oh, how was the day at the beach? Oh, it was great. And you really just can't impart the peace of mind that came with being in nature with a capital N. And that's when this window is cracked or fully open. That's what this window is about. Tina?
Yes, the sentence, poised in silence, I observe the forms of integration and disintegration. And that's what I sometimes experience when I'm in silence. And there's a room behind the silence for me. I can enter a new room. And that's what my teacher in Germany always told us, to enter this room, and he called it there's a silence behind the silence, and I really experienced that. So it's a deep silence, perhaps, or I don't know how to say, but I can't explain. I have to write a poem, perhaps. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share. I like the silence, and it's very powerful silence. Yeah. Thank
Just
you.
so. And just so. And but this quality of silence is a lot of what all of these latter pictures are about. It's not just this one with the capital N nature. It's also in the Enso or the circle, or it's certainly in the, it's even in the one where you're in deep samadhi and you're kayaking or you're playing an instrument and you're lost completely in the activity. You're also operating in the sea of silence, like a sea of silence, or you're sitting in a hermitage, or metaphorically sitting in a hermitage on top of a mountain peak. You're sitting and swimming in silence. All of these last four pictures are imbued and swimming in silence.
Thank you.
Annie?
Yes, talk about swimming. Yesterday I went I'll share my experience there swimming. There was a charity for dogs who find people or other dogs who are lost. So the swimming group organized this charity, and we were supposed to swim like a mile. And I was terrified because I haven't swam that far in ages, but I wanted to join. So I joined, and I said, I'm going to go halfway. And the teacher says, oh, that's okay. Do whatever you can. So it was choppy outside. It was kind of, some parts of the water were really cold, some was warm. And I was swimming there and I kept veering off in the wrong direction, like going too far in the deep part, or else going right up to shore where I could walk. So there was all this kinds of chaos. But in the meantime, I felt like enveloped by the water, even though I was swallowing some and having difficulty there. But there was something about it that was so beautifully connected with nature. You know, I was in it and it was holding me, and it was dangerous, but there were other people around who were looking after us. And afterwards, I just felt, all I can say is hi, you know, for about an hour afterwards.
That's great.
One with nature in it. Thank you.
Recently, I thank you so much, Amy. Recently, I got one of these foldable oru. Oru in Japanese means folding, and origami is folding paper. Well, this is a folding kayak, and 25 pounds on my back. Hiked up 2 miles to an alpine lake, and then got my dog Charlie to get in the kayak with me, and we went around the alpine lake, just paddling around with my dog Charlie out in front. It was a heavenly sort of samadhi experience that was definitely, in that case, a lot like riding the ox, playing the flute. Only it was a dog and kayak and me on an alpine lake. Any other comments, questions, or sharings? Daniel, are you trying to come in there?
Did you ask me?
Yes, it looked like something was flashing on and off there, Daniel. So I thought maybe
Okay.
say something or jump.
Yeah, maybe I have a bit to share. I'm not so somehow this picture reminded about very different but experiences, but that have something in common, that I feel as a guest in some well-functioning society or so. So the most obvious, maybe visiting once a game reserve in Southern Africa and seeing elephants and giraffes, and that's their place. We humans are just guests, and perceiving that everything works out fine, even seeing some cool aspects that like perfect harmony, but also similar things, similar feelings with being in really different societies. So in Asia, seeing people just living a life that's completely different from my life, but it's working, and it's just a reality far beyond what I'm used to. And maybe last thing, a virtual experience, seeing the Obama guy in this church. I've never been to an African American church, but when he started to started to sing Amazing Grace, I felt like witnessing reality, a society that I'm not used to, that I can connect a bit to, but that's very impressive to me. And yeah. So I'm always not perfectly in there, but I'm witnessing, and somehow it's the same reality I'm in, but somehow it's not. Yeah.
Interesting. I think we often have a feeling of being a guest in different worlds. Might be an animal world or a different variety of human world. And we become these, I hope, good observers and witness what it's like to be in these on different planets on the same planet. I love to snorkel when I'm in Hawaii, and I think I must. I was swimming before I could walk, I'm told. Don't remember that, but you put me in the water and I just kind of disappear under the waves, especially in Hawaii where all the fishes and eels and turtles and there's a certain spot in this particular cove in Maui that I love to go to, and dang, if every time I go there, year after year after year, I always find the same turtle resting in the same spot, having a nap. And I don't know if it's the very same turtle, but I have this feeling that I get to witness a little bit of turtle nature in Hawaii and go back. I always go back to that spot, see if the turtle is there. There are so many worlds on this world. It's amazing. And yet we're all interconnected into one capital N nature and interdependent. And that's something that we realize more deeply when this particular window is open of number 9. Well, I'm feeling like we might be ready to close, unless anybody has something more to jump in. And we'll tackle number 10 next time, and what it's like to step out when our windows are mostly or all the way open. What it's like to step out in the world, even in the midst of a trying or stormy situation.
Okay. Genjo, thank you once again. This is wonderful, and hope to see everybody 1 week from today. Same time, same Zoom link, so you can save your Zoom link. And have a good week in between.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.